Welcome, students, to our third lesson. Now, this is our lesson where we put our ukuleles together. During this lesson, we will go by a step-by-step procedure, but as you see, mine is going to start with the painting process. What you are watching at this point in time is one of my new students that was added to the class just recently. Due to us having a couple extra ukuleles, on the way out the door I gave Mr. Mackley one of our ukuleles, and this is him doing his artistic part to it. So he is now added to our class, and while you learn how to play the ukulele, so will he. So I think this is a great time to kind of sit back and enjoy as you see somebody do what they do best, Mr. Mackley and his art. As you see, this is the collection of all of the items that were used in order to make this ukulele. You will see multiple size brushes, the different variety of paints, but the most important are the tools. He has a multi-head screwdriver which he can change it for the different sizes, super glue, and wood glue. First, you will need to find the body and the neck. You will also need the small wooden peg. Take wood glue, place it on the base of the neck, then also apply some to the body. Add wood glue to your wooden peg. Now, the wooden peg should slip in fairly simply since the hole was drilled out for the wooden peg. Whatever you do, do not expose the wooden peg to any other kind of moisture or it will swell and not fit. And I do not recommend using any other tools to try to forcibly make your ukulele. This will definitely affect his grade. But with the magic of video, his ukulele is now together. Now, what we need is the fingerboard, the nut, and the bridge. We are going to dry fit the fingerboard first. Once we have dry fit where we feel it's most comfortable where it's to go, we're going to take our super glue and use a fair amount of super glue all around to make sure we get a nice, solid, tight fit. I highly recommend taking rubber bands or clamps of something to press to keep this compressed for a period of time so it gets itself locked solid. Then we are going to get the two small screws and our smallest screwdriver. We are going to take our little screws and we are going to put them into the little holes that have already been preset on the body of the ukulele. Now they are very tiny and the holes aren't completed through. So you have one good shot at this and you want to make sure you place it right. So then screw down the bottom of the bridge once you find both of the holes. Now, you might notice that the little white part of the bridge, which holds the strings up, which is the bridge part, is loose and slides back and forth and can be pulled out. Do not be concerned about that. That's what's supposed to happen. Now there's one little white part for the top, which is called the nut. The nut keeps the strings all in line. You must take and glue down with the super glue the nut into position. Once the nut is in place, you want to find the two small little white caps. These little white caps are going to cover up the screws that are at the base of the bridge. There will be no need to add any extra glue before they fit tightly by pushing them straight down. Then you need to go and find your 4 tuning pegs. Flip your ukulele upside down, placing the tuning peg into the proper hole. Then take your small screws and attach the tuning pegs. Next, you will need to find the 4 white washers. Place the washers over top of the front of the tuning pegs. Make sure to dry fit them first. Then, place super glue around the outside, making sure not to glue the tuning peg to the washer. Make sure you glue the washer to the wood. This brings us to the time where we are going to add the strings to the ukulele. Take your strings and tie a small knot about 1 inch to 1.5 inches on one end from the end. Then you are going to slide that through the small groove at the base of the bridge. When putting your strings on, you have to follow the proper order. It goes small, largest, second to largest, and then the other small one. Now, if you can see a distinction between your 2 small strings, the smallest one goes on the far right side when we're facing it. The first 2 tuning pegs will tighten going in a counterclockwise direction, and the other 2 will tighten going in a clockwise direction. Well, that brings us to the end of making of our ukulele. I thank you very much. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Now, let's learn how to play these buggers.